Hey, Derek Waller here, and in today's video, we're going to talk about a beginner food list for the keto diet. So I know a lot of people are getting started on the ketogenic diet. It's very, very healthy for you. It's a great way to eat, so it's great that so many people are getting on board with it. But it can be a little bit confusing on what you eat and what you can eat. So in this video, I'm going to talk about all the foods that you can eat. And then when you know all the foods, then you can start mixing and matching them together and start making some awesome, awesome recipes. And there are millions of recipes online as well. So once you know the foods that you can eat, then it makes it so much easier. So the thing I like about the ketogenic diet is it's not like most diets in that it's not about counting calories. It's not about portion control or eating less or anything like that. It's simply eating foods that actually fill you up, so then your stomach can just tell you when you're full. So we can get away from this thing of, always eating based on the clock. So, I got to eat at 6 a.m. and noon for lunch and 7 p.m. for dinner. You start listening to your body when you eat more high-fat foods and you are hungry far less often. So that's what I really love about this diet. But let's get into some of the foods that you can eat. And I've got a bunch of them here just from my own fridge because I generally eat a high-fat diet. So we got plenty on hand, and I've been doing it for a couple years. So if you have any questions about it, just shoot them in the comments below. All right, let's start with veggies. Veggies, two of the best ones we got are broccoli. So I got a big bag of broccoli here. And let's see what else we got here. Cauliflower. So broccoli and cauliflower are two of the best vegetables that you can have. They're very low in carbohydrates, low in sugars. There's some vegetables that are higher, that are starchier in carbs and sugars. So broccoli and cauliflower I eat almost every single day, probably every single day. So those are the two kind of staples that I always recommend getting started with. And then things like, Brussels sprouts, green beans are generally okay. But when you get into things like, carrots, and peas and things like that, those are a little too carby for the keto diet. So stick with broccoli and cauliflower to get started with, and again, add in some Brussels sprouts in there as well. Those are generally the best veggies. Peppers are also a great one too that you can add in. All right, let's switch it over. Let's start with some meat. So meat, we got chicken thighs. So you can have chicken breasts, but I like to go with the chicken thighs because they have the skin, so there's more fat to them. To me, it's kind of hard to get filled up eating chicken breast unless you add stuff to it, because it's just protein, more or less. There's really not much fat to it. So when you add in the chicken thighs and you have like the skin on there, it not only tastes a lot better, there's more flavor to it, but it also helps fill you up a bit more. So chicken thighs, you can do the chicken breast, you can do chicken wings, drumsticks, things like that as well. Let's see, we also got some ground beef here. So you have the organic ground beef. If you can, go with the higher fat content. So you don't have to get the lean 90-10 meat because, again, that's cutting out a lot of the fat. So you're cutting out the flavor, and the fat is what fills you up. So you actually want to eat it, and you'll probably end up eating a lot less because that fat will fill you up compared to the lean meat. So I like to go 80-20 if I can find it. Otherwise, 85-15 is a great choice as well. So we got ground beef. In terms of other meats, you can have the bacon. Steak is a great one. Another meat that you want to get the fattier cuts. So don't necessarily think you have to get the lean sirloin or anything like that. I like to get the ribeyes, the nice marble on there. Again, the fats is what's going to fill you up and give it the flavor. So steak is a great option. Fish is another great option. I'm not a big fish eater myself, so I don't have a lot of recommendations when it comes to fish. But salmon is always a great choice to go with. So fish is another one. When it comes to meat, you can have things like bison, duck, lamb, turkey, anything like that. Those are all great options. And again, we're eating until we're satisfied and not overly stuffed. So don't worry about how much to eat or how many calories of it can you eat. Just notice how you feel when you eat and eat until your stomach says that you're full. Revolutionary idea, I know, but we've kind of gotten away from that amidst all the calorie counting and meal planning and things like that. So what are some other foods? You can have dairy, certain dairy on the ketogenic diet. So some great options. I got some Gouda cheese right here. I got the big pack because we eat a lot of cheese in my household. And I also have the little baby. These are like the Baby Bell ones. These are great for traveling. They're great for kids. My kids call them circle cheese. So I have a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old son, and one of their favorite snacks is circle cheese. You can throw it in their lunches too, and it's one of the best, kind of prepackaged cheeses. You usually want to get like the bricks and not the bags of cheese or anything like that, but this one is one of the best ones in terms of the ones that come in an actual wrapper. So you can have cheese. You want to do the higher fat cheese, so you don't want to do the reduced fat cheese. And those, they cut out the fat and they add in either sugar or artificial sweeteners. So you don't want to do that. And the hard cheeses tend to be lower in terms of sugar, so the harder cheeses are better. We also got some other options here are butter. So butter is a great one. I like to get Kerrygold. That's what I cooked my cauliflower and broccoli in. So again, when you're eating the veggies, they don't have to be bland, they don't have to be boring, they don't have to be raw. You can cook them in things like butter, which is what I do, and I usually put some sea salt on top. Another great thing on the keto diet, we have heavy whipping cream. So this thing has been like a savior to me because I also do fasting. So I don't eat breakfast in the morning. And one thing that holds me over is I have green tea and I add in either a teaspoon or a tablespoon of the heavy cream, depending on how big a cup of tea I have. So heavy whipping cream, don't do the creamer, don't do the half and half. Those still have the sugars in there. Just look for a straight heavy whipping cream. It tastes awesome. You can add it to your coffee as well, and just helps hold you over if you're having like a snack and you want a cup of coffee instead of a big snack or something like that, or if you're fasting in the morning and don't want to eat breakfast. So some other great options on the keto diet, we got eggs. Eggs are one of the healthiest foods known to man. They have the great combination of the healthy fats in the yolk and the protein. So don't just eat the egg whites. You want to eat the egg yolks as well. That's where all the good stuff is. So eggs are on there. Cream cheese is another one I got right here. I got the Philadelphia one where it's only 5 ingredients. Some of the other ones, you start reading the ingredient list and you kind of wonder what the heck they're putting in there. You can't even pronounce half of them. So I like that one because it's very simple, very straightforward, not a lot of ingredients, but cream cheese is a great option as well. What I like to do is I actually like to cook my chicken thighs and then put cream cheese on top. I'd never tried it before, and I found this recipe searching online, and it was awesome. It is amazing. So I always dip my chicken in cream cheese now. Even if I make chicken wings at home, I'll get the cream cheese instead of using blue cheese because that's not very good for you. I will melt some cream cheese and use that as the dipping sauce. So cream cheese, also great on dark chocolate too. So I'm eating a ton of cream cheese. Let's look in the fridge, see if there's anything else in here that we got that is on the keto diet. We got some guacamole. So avocado or guacamole is great. Lots of healthy fats in the avocado. Also a lot of potassium, which is something that most of us are deficient in. And, when you think potassium, you think, bananas or something like that. But those are a bit carby and sugary, especially for the keto diet. So avocados, eating, half of one or one a day is a great way to get started. And then in terms of fruit, one of the best ones is raspberries. So raspberries is very low in sugar and carbs again. So raspberries and blackberries tend to be the best types of fruits if you're going to eat fruit. But again, you want to kind of cut that to a minimum, especially if you're just starting out. So those are a ton of foods that you can eat on the keto diet. I'll list some more in the description below. So if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below. If you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the comments below. And if you want a free gift, I have a 7-day diet challenge that I'm starting up in just a couple days. So if you click the link in the description below, let me know your best email. I will send you over that 7-day diet challenge plan absolutely free. It tells you exactly what to eat. And you can burn up to 11 pounds in 7 days, which is the results I've gotten from personal clients who have used it. So again, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Talk soon.